I'm Taylor Vitani, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Living Show, Living in Shelby Township. I am here with Deputy Supervisor Lindy Odo. Lindy, how are you?
I'm good, Taylor. How are you?
I am so good. So we're here and we're talking all about the Giving Tree. Now, I know you have all the details, so why don't you fill me in?
Sure. So the Giving Tree originally started as a partnership with the Supervisor's Office and the Human Resources Department. They wanted to do a little something to give back to the community. What they ended up doing is they paired with the Samaritan House. They're located in Washington Township on Van Dyke Avenue. And what they do, they are a nonprofit organization that acts as a food pantry, and they serve the northern part of Macomb County.
So I know that people can bring in canned foods, anything that where they have a good expiration date on them. What other things can people bring?
So people can bring actually a lot of things, any like household necessities really. Food as long as there's an expiration date, but then things such as paper towel, toilet paper, hand soap, shampoo, conditioner, laundry detergent, really anything that could help a family in need.
I gotcha. Everything brand new, obviously, right?
Of course, yeah.
Right. And so is there a way too, I heard that there was a way to purchase stuff from like a wish list. How does that work?
So that actually started in 2020 with COVID. The old Deputy Supervisor, Chelsea, she set up an Amazon wish list that made it really easy for residents to order directly from a link on Amazon and have it shipped directly to the supervisor's office. So we get it here, it's all packaged and ready to go, and it's ready for delivery in January when we deliver it.
That is so cool. So is there anything else that happens during this Giving Tree thing that people aren't even really thinking of that maybe they could give? Or like the craziest things you've seen in there that you're like, yeah, people could use that?
You know, sometimes people throw in toys, and it's really nice because they miss the deadline for Toys for Tots. So then toys get thrown into the Samaritan House, so that's nice right after the holidays. The kids that, are needing necessities, they also get toys as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So there really is no wrong answer. As long as it can be used and as long as it's something that you think people might need during the holidays, it's a great idea to contribute and to give back, and it's so beautiful that you guys are doing this for the community. So we all really do appreciate the work you guys are putting into this. So if you have anything to donate, anything at all, please bring it on by. How do people bring it by? What times? Do they have to bring it here to the municipal office?
Yeah, so bring it into the municipal office Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. You can just drop it off. You don't have to check in with anybody. If that doesn't work, you can use the Amazon wish list as well. And what's great about the Samaritan House is they run year round. So the Giving Tree through Shelby Township is just during the holidays. The last day, I believe, this year is December 21st before we leave for Christmas break. Okay. But since they run throughout the whole year, you're able to go and drop off donations directly to the food pantry if you would like. And they actually have an updated list on their website of their current monthly needs, which is really great.
That is great. So if anyone has any further questions, do they contact you here at the municipal office? Or?
Yeah, they can contact me at the supervisor's office, 586-731-5154. And again, my name was Lindy Odo.
That is so great. Thank you so much for talking with us, Lindy, and we can't wait to see what all of you are going to contribute. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
I'm Brian Werner, and Deputy Fire Marshal with Shelby Township Fire Department, and today we're here to talk about Community Connect. Community Connect is a new program we are starting with the Shelby Township Fire Department. Residents and businesses alike can sign up. Community Connect is a website where you can provide information about your household or business to emergency responders. Some of the information you can share can be about pets, if there are any special needs individuals in your home, and the location of utilities. And if there's any other information that you want us to know about your household in the event of an emergency. Community Connect also works for businesses, where you can provide emergency contacts for employees, information about the building's utilities and shutoffs, and be able to get notifications sent to you from the first responders if they are dispatched to your property. Any information that you provide will help us serve you better in the case of an emergency. So please sign up today. Be your own hero in Community Connect.
Some local patrons have gifted the Shelby Township Library with a very special holiday display this year. We stopped by to talk to Library Director Katie Esther to find out more.
This is our first year having a Dickens Village set up in the library, and Diane and Adani Kokonos are regular patrons of the library, and they approached me about 6 weeks ago and said, you know, we have this beautiful Dickens Village. We've been collecting the pieces for years and years, but it's just getting too much for us to set it up every year and, you know, and take it down and store it. And you know, we would really like to see it get a second life somewhere in the community, somewhere where it could be appreciated and people could see it and enjoy it, and it would lend itself to maybe a new tradition somewhere. And so the library jumped at the chance. We went and picked up all the boxes, and it's an extensive collection of not only Dickens Village little businesses that go around a community square, but the people and the trees and the street lights and all the accoutrements that go with a Dickens Village.
Bronner's inspired us, because if you go to Bronner's, you can see the Dickens Village set up like that. So at first, it would take them a long time to take all the houses out of the boxes and set it all up. And someone gave us the idea, well, why don't you just leave it set up on a table? So we were doing that for years, but the problem is that we had to take the door off to put it in our storage room. And we got to the point where that was pretty heavy at our age to be taking a door off and putting it back on again. So we thought, well, what are we going to do with it? And it was my husband's idea that maybe the library would like it with the whole Dickens theme.
There you go, see? An expert.
When it's finished, it will be absolutely spectacular here in the library, and people will have weeks before Christmas to come enjoy it, to see it, to bring their kids to see it. And hopefully it's a fun new tradition at the library, and people look forward to seeing it, and that's our hope for the future. It doesn't have a library, however, so we're going to add to it this year.
But now it'll be great because so many people can enjoy it. That's what we were thinking. A lot of people, and little kids love to see the little figures and stuff, you know, all the little village people. So
we're so grateful to Diane and Adani for their generous donation, because it's such a fun addition to the library.
Shelby Township Activity Center hosted Shop Shelby, a vendor show that welcomed over 60 small businesses, both resident and non-resident alike, to set up shop in time just before Black Friday sales went up this holiday season. At just a small entry fee of $1 per person, residents of Shelby Township were open to explore a vast variety of small businesses local to Macomb County. Featuring local artists, restaurants, bakers, craftsmen, tailors, and many other services, Shop Shelby covered every corner for what early shoppers needed. Whether it was looking for a stocking stuffer, last-minute gift, or the right ornament to spruce up holiday decorating. We would like to thank the Department of Parks and Recreation for hosting Shop Shelby and continuing to support small businesses within the community. This is Zach Camilla from Shelby TV wishing all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
This woman, she's seated, and her husband were reenactors at the Antietam battlefield, and some rangers at the park rangers saw her coming out of the ladies' bathroom and told her she would have to leave, that women, weren't authentic in the Civil War. Well, she sued the National Park Service, and you might have even read it. It was in Smithsonian, like the late 80s. The Smithsonian helped with this POW museum. It goes from before even we were a country. And anyway, I was interested in whether or not they had any women there. And they did have one picture of a woman in the Civil War. And they said that 300 women served in the Civil War. 300 women got pensions, okay? That's not the total number. Well, let's come back to our friend Lauren Cook. After she sued the Park Service and won, and after the article came out in Smithsonian Magazine, she got a letter from a little old lady in Florida. And the lady said, well, of course women fought in the Civil War. Her great aunt had, and she had not only a photograph of her aunt, but her letters. And she learned all about Sarah Rosetta Wakeman. And this was a real breakthrough book that she wrote with the letters of this woman. Because when it came out, there wasn't much about women in the Civil War. So this was a really important thing. Now, this woman's name is Frances Clayton. She's from Minnesota. I couldn't find everybody from Michigan. Anyway, I want you to look at this picture, though, for a couple things. So one thing I want you to think about is just the fact that this is the picture people are using to represent these women. Many of them are quite knocked down gorgeous, you know? And the other thing is about her uniform, how loose it is, okay? I mean, women were having babies, and no one knew they were pregnant. That's how loose the jackets were. You probably are feeling the pattern of these women, okay? They all had experience in men's work, farm work, shepherding, that kind of thing. They had worn male clothing in their youth, okay? So they didn't betray themselves. A lot of women did, like just because of habit, they'd reach down to pull up their skirts. Most of them were from the working class, not so much the upper class at all, or the middle class. Of course, there wasn't such a big middle class back then. Anyway, and they often did it for income. They wanted that bounty that you got when you enlisted. You know, they only made $13 a month as soldiers. I know, it's terrible. Anyway, almost all of them, as you've heard, go with a loved one, a husband, a father, a brother, a lover. And here they didn't want to listen, people didn't want to hear it, but they wanted to escape that rather limited female sphere that you read about all the time. It is very much a middle and upper class kind of notion. But the point was is that it did exist. It was in minds that women just didn't do this sort of thing. So Lincoln said at the end of the war, that if all that has been said by orators and poets since the creation of the world in praise of women were applied to the women of America, it would not do them justice for their conduct in this war. Remember, this is just a little piece of what women were doing. Walt Whitman said the real war will never get in the books, and it didn't. It's being recovered. What happened at the end of the 19th century is that the Grand Army of the Republic kind of helped turn historiography into battles. And it shifted to this other kind of history, and it left the women out. So it's been left to us to recover it. And it's being recovered. There are at least a dozen really good books about these women. Okay? And Southern women too. I don't think the Southerners had quite as many. They just didn't have the population, you know. But yeah, we could do the same thing with the Southerners, I'm sure.